Hey everybody, I'm Danny.
I'm Jason!
Yes, he is. And thank you so much for getting on the video today. We're super excited, and this is something we wanted to implement. We didn't really know how to do it, but we found out from other leaders in Isogenics that this is creating huge momentum, huge success for people, especially for those people who maybe have been a little bit more shy to introduce Isogenics to people in their lives, family, friends, coworkers, all that kind of good stuff. So that is why we are doing this. Take it away, Jay.
Well, not only are we going to create a safe page for people to get information and to learn about what we do and how we do it, but it's going to be high energy and fast. It's going to be happy and positive. Yeah, that's right. No negative posting will be accepted on this group at all. Third, most importantly, we're going to educate people about the value of all our solutions on a regular basis and how it can affect them in a positive way. We're going to inspire and motivate. Now, we all love those inspirational posts, and we love to motivate people. This is the perfect group to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to be protected. We're going to give them a safe haven so they can learn without any prospecting, lingo, or anything like that, which we'll cover, so they can actually learn about it and see if it's for a fit for them. We're going to be persistent and consistent. I think this is the key, is that we want to build momentum in this group, and the only way to do that is to post quite a bit. And we'll talk about how many times we want to be posting on a regular basis. And last but not least, the leaders must post. We all have a responsibility that if we want more money, we got to post the most. And in essence, to finish off, we want to create a virtual online store. You know what I mean? When we can go in, find out the information, and ladies, you know, that purse, that jewelry, etc. The guys, it's the clean looking Robert Graham shirts or whatnot. That's what we're going to do. So what are we doing? And let me flip the page. And Danny, tell us what it's going to look like.
Well, here's the thing. And a lot of you love the Isogenics products. We all love the products. So this is only product. We do not want to hear opportunity. We don't want to hear business. We don't see anything to do with that. We just want to know about the product.
So that means there's no rank advancement talk, no next step to get to manager or consultant bonus or director,
Nope.
And there's no prospecting lingo. We don't want to see any post, hey, I talked to 3 people today. Isn't that crazy? That's amazing. None of that, because that's not what you do in a store.
No.
And what are we going to highlight, Danny?
We're going to highlight the products. We're going to be talking about the science. So you'll be bringing in links from Isogenics. We want to teach them all about the Isogenics products, but not just that. We're going to teach them, if you find a really great page about vitamin A or vitamin D or why we should be drinking water. We're here to educate people.
And we're going to cover the 4 main solutions on a daily basis, whether it's anti-aging, whether it's performance, whether it's energy, whether it's weight loss, just staying lean. We want to cover them, so it doesn't matter who comes in the group, there's something for them. And what about the transformations?
Well, we all love the transformations. That's what really makes Isogenics so unique, is those amazing before and after photos. Share them like crazy. Tell them your own story, have photos of yourself, bring in the photos from Isogenics. We are there to show them what is possible. And what we're hoping is that they'll see something in those transformations that they're looking for.
Now, people are going to have questions, and that's perfectly okay. We want to be able to answer them, but we also want to do it in a short, concise manner. And if it extends beyond that, we want to always use a tool. Send them to a link. Send them to a product page on isoproduct.com or isogenicshealth.net. And Danny, what about the leaders? How do we edify those leaders?
This is really the most important part, because we can't do this alone. We can't do this in isolation. So what's going to happen is that you're going to input. So somebody's going to put something up, and you need to edify the person that's doing it. So if Jay brought somebody in, I would say Jay is such an amazing leader. He's such an amazing coach. He's going to help you in your transformation.
That's perfect. And lastly, but more importantly, we want to engage with these new people, and we want to add value to their lives, because that's the key. We want to continue to give. Now, Danny, talk to us a little bit how this product page is going to look like. How to use the product page. There's 2 ways that we can be funneling people into this page. First, out and about public. You know the story. I don't think we have to cover it too much here, but we're always looking to affirm, to compliment them. We're always looking to ask some questions. What are you looking for? What do you aspire to have in your life? And even if it's from a business perspective and they're engaged, they still all have to consume the product. And getting them into our product page, Wellness for Life, is always going to be the best thing. And last but not least, when it comes to Out and About, if you don't know them, ask to be friends on Facebook. Take out your phone, bring it to Facebook, and show them where they can add you as a friend. And Danny, what about on Facebook itself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got branding on your own personal page. You may even have another page on top of that. You can funnel people in from there into this group. Again, product related only, obviously. And you want to plant seeds to spark interest. So you want to be talking about it on your other Facebook page, like on your public one where you're telling people who you are and what you're about. You want to be talking about the product so that they ask you about it and you say, hey, I want to show you this amazing community that I'm a part of, and I'd love for you to hear from them directly about what this is all about. So there's no pressure for people as you move them into our group.
Now this is key to understand. With us, obviously, have our own websites and things of that nature. Even Isagenix provides us all the replicated website. The key is not to bring any of that branding into this group. This group must stay generic.
Yeah.
So once you do the product page, I think the most important thing on my side of this little diagram right here is we're providing value. The posting has got to be consistent like we talked about. The educating, so key to providing value to people. It's got to be inspiring. People want to know what's possible, and you can share that with them, and it's got to be motivating. Those transformations, those wellness stories, those abilities to rise above the occasion and get fit. And last but not least, let's give them some hope. Let's give them some hope that it's possible. We've all experienced the community, and that's another big thing we're doing. It's all about adding value.
That's
but
right.
Danny, talk about the welcome post.
Well, there's a very specific, remember in the beginning I said this was a system, so there's a very specific system when you welcome somebody or once they get enrolled. So in the beginning you do a welcome post, you do the hashtag, you put a picture in. If you know them, like you know them well, and you can take a picture from their Facebook and they'd be okay with that, you can bring their picture in and say welcome, and then you add the details about that person, right? You don't just say, hey, welcome Bob. You say Bob has 2 kids, this is his job, this is what he's looking for. Then you add a video or a tool right afterwards so that they know you're kind of directing them, much like you would in an email and you would send them, some information. 24 to 48 hours you would do a follow-up, and you do it within that same line where you welcome them. So basically their whole story is within that same kind of trail where you welcome them, where everybody's going to welcome them and say hello, and then you're going to do your follow-ups in there. Then you're going to call them, you're going to private message, video chat, because we still have to do that private touch when we get people started, right? You're not going to get them started through here. You're going to be having conversations with them and getting their feedback.
Now here's the goal, folks. We want to expose people right here, 4 to 18 exposures. Meaning, if they're in the group for 24 to 48 hours and people are posting up value articles, things that benefit people in their lives on an everyday basis, they're getting exposed to great community, great support, great education. So 14 to 18 exposures is going to lead to more enrollment, right, Danny?
Absolutely. And that's what we're hearing about. That's the people who have recommended this kind of program to us, this system, are seeing unbelievable results. And that's what we're super excited about for you.
So, Danny, give us an example. We're going to talk a little bit about what that sort of welcome page might look like. Okay? But first, I have a prospect. Now what do I do? Okay? Like we mentioned before, if you're out and about, you want to ask permission.
Always.
First, to be friends, but second, that you can put them in this secret group because they're not going to be able to find it otherwise.
No.
So no secret ninja tactics, no going in and going, this would be great and I'm going to add Sally or Jane. None of that. It's got to be up front.
No, we can't have people saying, why am I in this group? Why was I put in this group? They have to know exactly why they're there. And, we don't want to surprise people. This isn't like, hey, here's a group, and, you take all your friends and throw them in there, all the ones that haven't been interested in Isagenix up till now. No, permission.
Second, you got to set the expectations. And like I put down here, you're going to love it. It's super fast-paced. Check out the transformation, the files, the videos, all the stories, right? We want to really set the expectations that this is a positive, lively environment that has the potential for great, great transformations. But Danny, you were talking about welcome post earlier. Give us a little bit more detail.
Okay, so you've got somebody that's getting started. We gave the example of Bob. Bob's getting started. So you're going to use, if you know Bob well, you're friends with him. Hey, you're gonna put a photo of Bob so that he's not offended. Because if it's somebody you just met out and about, you're not gonna go to the Facebook, steal a photo and put it in. They might be a little freaked out by that. So then you would just go find an image of the word welcome and you would put that with their name. Then you provide details. You have to provide the rest of the group details so that we can respond. So I would say something like, here's Bob. I met Bob out at the Starbucks. We started a conversation. I told him about this amazing group and he could learn more. Bob has 2 kids that are teenagers. He bounces around all the time. He's a runner and would love to get back to running, but he's put on weight. So I've just given you details there. So I would put a video after I put Bob into the group, maybe about fitness. So, because he said to me, he's looking for fitness. He's looking to lose weight so he can run again. So that's something. So I may look to Isogenics Health for something about running and Isogenics.
But first, what you'll do is you'll probably put something that gives a broad overview. And that's what you'll say in your post. Hey, Bob, I want to give you an overview of what Isogenics is about. And here's a link to why Isogenics. And as Danny alluded to, the next post that she makes within the group has something to do related to what he's looking for. And that was a great example, Danny. IsogenicsHealth.net looking for a post about fitness and running because he's a runner. But Danny, tell us about the welcomes from the other leaders in the group.
And remember, we said that's critical. We can't have just say, hey, Bob, welcome. Hey, welcome, Bob. That's pointless. You need to come on and say, hey, I can relate to Bob. I have 2 teenage kids too. Hey, Bob, welcome to the group. So happy you decided to have a look. I have 2 teenagers too, so I know exactly how you're feeling. I got into Isogenics because I was looking for energy, and I'm now going to the gym, and I've never felt better. So you're relating to Bob in terms of what he's looking for. So, you don't want to give a story that doesn't relate so much to him, but even if you don't have teenagers or it's not about fitness, you want to welcome Bob in a loving, welcoming community way.
Let's be authentic, right? People can see it coming a mile away. Let's be authentic.
Yeah.
So on the welcome post, it is imperative that we get at least 5. That's right. How many? 5 people commenting. And we want to be consistent, at least a minimum of 5. So here are a couple last points that we want to touch base with on, okay? Talk about this one, Danny. First one.
Yeah, I mean, this is brand new. This is brand new for Jay and I too. As we move forward, we'll probably make another video as we, are 6 months down the road and we've learned a lot. From the leaders I've spoken to that are using this group, we're all going to screw up. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to put up stuff that's, say, non-compliant, for example. We put up, oh, this really helped my arthritis, especially because you're going to have some really new people coming on. And they may talk about, I'm on the 4th day into my cleanse and they're reporting back that their arthritis pain has, gone away. Well, we know that's not compliant. We can't say stuff like that. So we will have to take down the message, but we will send a personal message. So it's important that we're all friends, friends on Facebook.
So if we're not friends with especially the administrators that will list on the training page, it's important for these people to be friends. So either suggest it to be friends so we can add them and tell your friends that we're going to be adding them so they can get into the page. That allows us to edify people more and more and more. The second thing, integrity. Listen, we talked about protected space for those people coming in so they can see, but it's also protected space for us as leaders. Let me give you an example. Danny decides to bring in Laura. And Laura is taking a look at all these exposures, very interested, and I am able to respond to her question. And again, let's assume that we're not a married couple.
Yeah.
And then Laura all of a sudden contacts me and goes, Jason, I'm ready to get started. Well, then what I want to do is I want to go up into the search section. I want to put hashtag welcome and Laura's name, and I want to find out who actually introduced Laura into the group. Now, once that happens, I'll find out it's Danny. I then will personally contact Danny and go, Danny, Laura's just contacted me. She's ready to get started. Now, again, I understand it's always Laura's choice, but we want to build this with integrity. And it's my job to protect the space for Danny so she can feel it. I think we can all agree that's the best way to proceed. And if that doesn't happen, at least it could be a face-to-face conversation or a phone conversation between Danny and myself, right? So let's make sure we keep the space. And integrity, don't tell anything that's not true. Be authentic in what you do. And last but not least, Danny, I think you can agree, it's all about teamwork.
It won't work. We've also heard of people who have tried it and the energy hasn't been good in those groups and they're just not seeing the success of other groups. The teamwork is the most important part. We have to commit as we get this started to getting on 6 to 8 times a day. That's the admin's doing that. And everybody else, you want to get on 3 times a day, because here's what we have heard from the people who are successful. The more times you're posting in that group, the more money you're going to make. And that's because you're excited, you're enthusiastic, and that's going to spread into other parts of your world that are going to draw people to you. So more people are going to be coming to you, and you're going to be putting more people in there. So it's not just a case of, oh, I'm just responding. You're getting excited by that. People are going to feel that, and they're going to say, what are you doing? And then you'll be putting prospects in there, and other people will be helping you.
And finally, this group is going to continue to grow, and this group is going to continue to have more and more success. We foresee it, and I know you're going to foresee it as well. So let's make sure that we all understand that as we're posting and adding value, we might not get the results maybe at first, and other people might be having some success, but karma works in mysterious ways, and everything's going to come back around, and you're going to have the success because we play together as a team. Remember, this is generic. It's all about teamwork.
Right. And when somebody puts in the hashtag, because remember there's 3 hashtags, which is welcome, celebrate, and recipes. When somebody puts in that hashtag celebrate, it is time to go on there and say woohoo, because it means somebody has used this group to get started. And like Jay says, even if for you it's a little bit slower, go in and celebrate like crap, because the more you celebrate somebody else's success, the more success you'll have.
So on that note, listen, we thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. We're super excited. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
All right. And so if there's any questions, feel free to send us a message on Facebook or an individual message at info@dreamevenbigger.com. But until then, have yourself a fantastic day, and let's make this work together, guys.
Let's do it.
Bye for now.
Bye now.